the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series fires things off for championship round number 3. 8 drivers left in the playoffs. We will see 4 of them exit stage left and 4 continue on to Homestead Miami Speedway for the season finale coming at you next Wednesday night. But first, we gotta get through tonight's iRacing League Calculator 100 right here from Dover International Speedway. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. So with qualifying already underway and drivers already putting in some fast times, what do you say we go ahead and throw up some of that qualifying information over there to the left-hand side of your screen? You can see that 46 Falcon Motorsports machine of Chris Medford, top of the speed charts, always a familiar face at the front. Brandon Pamitat looking to back up the last week's playoff race winning performance from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Can Pamitat get the job done and go back-to-back in the playoffs? Just about 5 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Still got about 8 drivers left to put in their qualifying times. Dustin Franklin out there trying to put down a flying lap. The 47 machine going to slot in that 8th position. Last on the speed charts for now, but look for that 47 to make a big jump. John Gutekunst, also one of the drivers yet to put in his qualifying time here tonight. So as the music slowly begins to fade, we'll get a little clearer picture of how things will line up for tonight's iRacing League Calculator 100 right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. 9 drivers now on the speed charts. Franklin doesn't have a good second lap, and he's going to stay back there at the bottom of the speed charts. Brandon Medford going to roll his 83 machine out on the track and trying to lay down a fast time. Well, track's going to go quiet here for a moment as we wait for Brandon Medford. There he goes, rolling out on the track now. John Garrett also going to join him on the speedway. The 66 going to get off of pit road and get up to speed. You can hear him down there, see him down there, as a matter of fact, high above the track right here. Great look down at Dover International Speedway here from the Turn 3 blimp cam. Going to cross the stripe, he getting his first time lap here. John Garrett going to try to take away the pole position at the front of this field. Chris Medford holds the quick time here tonight at Dover with a 22.94, the fast time. Medford, Brandon Medford, that is, the 83, going to slot inside the top 5. He's going to go third on the speed charts. Here comes John Garrett back across the line. What will lap number 1 do? Where's he going to go? Inside the top 5. Garrett jumps to 4th. With Garrett going to 4th with his first time lap on a second lap here. He hasn't thrown it away just yet, so we'll have to wait to see how he crosses the stripe here. You know, a trouble spot tonight as... Oh, in contact! We were about to say it. Trouble spots here tonight are going to be off of turn number 4 and turn number 2. Typically, that's where you do see the trouble, but the way you come up and out of these corners here at Dover, it kind of a roller coaster ride. Look at that right there. You can see the Geico restart zone a little bit on the downhill side of things. You come up and out of these corners, so the rear end of the trucks unload a little bit, especially when you're trying to float it out there to that outside wall. It gets a little bit light in that rear end and can be a bit pushy through the center of the corner, so drivers are going to have their hands full here tonight at the Monster Mile, the concrete jungle. Dover International Speedway hosting round number 3 here in season number 3 for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. It looks like just a handful of drivers yet to put in their qualifying time. Tyler Woodard, Thomas Smalling, Dalton Hayes yet to put in a time lap. The Lucky Finn Project Chevy Silverado of Troy Radford. He's going to put that Falcon Motorsports machine inside the top 3. He's going to sit outside pole position here with his first time lap. And it looks like that's about all he's going to get here. Radford back to pit road. So with 3 drivers remaining, 60 seconds left on the stopwatch. Can anybody do anything with that 46 at the top of the speed charts? Quick time here in qualifying belongs to Chris Medford with a 22.94 is the fast time. Radford right behind him. Hamitat still with a good run, good start to tonight's 100-lap race here from Dover International Speedway, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to roll off of the track, so we're going to take just a moment. We'll take some time here. Get rid of that timing and scoring real fast. Nobody out there on a qualifying time, so Medford's top of the speed charts. You're not missing any action there. Let's get to some point standings coming into tonight's race. We've got tonight and one more to crown the Season 3 champion. Chris Medford leading them all by 5 points. Cody Giles, Tyler Rex, Brandon Medford, Brandon Pamitat, Thomas Smalling, Dustin Franklin, Mark Parkhurst. Those are your 8 championship drivers. We're gonna pick 4 of them off and move 4 of them on. Which one of these 4 do you think is going to be able to tackle the task at hand here tonight at the concrete track? A close little battle back behind them, just outside of your top 8. You can see Garrett, Jimenez, and Woodard, all within about 10 points of each other right there. You might as well go ahead and throw John Gutekunst in it as well. Gutekunst had a rough go at Atlanta Motor Speedway and saw his championship come to a close last week from Atlanta. We'll see which 4 move on and which 4 go home. We're going to cut off another 4 drivers before we head to Homestead next week. And, well, looks like track's going to stay quiet. So we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, then head trackside for the national anthem and back for your starting lineup. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glares that both past it.
And we're going to have to cut the commercial short because we're ready to roll here at Dover International Speedway. You can see everybody beginning to line up down there on pit lane. What do you say we get a little closer and get ready for some hot and heavy action here tonight from Dover International Speedway? The iRacing League Calculator 100 hosting tonight's championship playoff race. And we do apologize. We do have some issues here. Let's go ahead and fix those up. So we do apologize. Rookie mistake, Dave. Get it right, son. Get it right. What would it be without a moment of what's the word I'm looking for here? Lapse of concentration, maybe? And it looks like we are experiencing some issues still here, so we're actually gonna have to take that commercial break. We do apologize. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We will be right back trackside, and we will jump right back into the action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And back at you once again. It's a funny thing when some of these safety trucks run over some of the cords and unplug a few of them. Fortunately enough, we've got some of the best tech members here trackside. We're going to get everything right back to you 6 laps into tonight's race here at Dover International Speedway. Playoff race number 3. It's the final cutoff. The final countdown for 4 drivers here tonight. Thomas Smalling showing the way, was able to grab the race lead. Chris Medford right there in second. Brandon Pamitat get a roll in third. Medford still sits in fourth. Troy Radford, the third Falcon Motorsports driver in tonight's race, sitting right there in that 5th position. And your front 6, all dominated by previous race winners. We'll go ahead and drop that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. No trouble while we were away. Everything has stayed clean and green all night long here tonight so far. You can see that Lucky Finn Project number 94, although he's lit up in that dark turn 3 orange on the timing and scoring, no longer in the playoffs. That's why you do not see that yellow banner on that Lucky Finn Project number 94. Radford running in that 5th position, down 2 spots from where he qualified here tonight, but still a strong run early here from Dover. We've got some passes near the mid-pack. Dustin Franklin, Mark Parkhurst, they're going to go at it here for the 8th position. John Gutekunst right there making up a spot. John Garrett going to move his 66 machine back a little further from where he qualified. Fell to the back of the pack here on these opening 5 or 6 laps, but now Garrett slowly starting to regain some momentum and regain some pace inside of that 66 Fort Worth screen printing esports machine. And how about the underdog story of the year? Or we're going to call it an underdog story of the year. You don't hear about him much. You don't hear him making big splashes and big waves. Just solid, slow, steady, consistent performance out of that 84 machine. Tyler Rex with his playoff hopes still alive and well. He's sitting in the 7th position right here. A nice, comfortable position to be sitting in. He does have a handful of these championship drivers behind him. So a little bit of buffer being built in right now for the drivers at the front of the field. Chris Medford, Brandon Pamitat, Brandon Medford, all listed as in the championship for as of right now. Thomas Smalling also listed in those top 4, moving on to Homestead by leading this race. So your front 4 here at Dover look to try to secure their way into Homestead with a shot at the season hardware. But we still got a long way to go here tonight, just shy of 90 miles left for these Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series drivers to lay down some fast times. A long way to figure things out. And we're going to jump around, trying to figure out if we can bring you a little bit more battles here. Going to queue in on board with the Eurotech Martin Sports number 7 machine of Cody Giles. It's an all Chevy field here tonight. So the bow tie is going to win out in that manufacturer column for sure, without any competition hitting the track here tonight at Dover. No real struggles out there on track by anybody. We're not seeing anybody really have any big handling moments here, as now Giles going to look to the inside of Troy Radford. Radford going to get out of the racing groove through 3 and 4. Going to keep the momentum up and keep the 7 at bay for the time being, but once again opening that bottom lane up a little bit wider of an entry, so possibly tires beginning to go on that 94 as he's he's giving it up there. If Giles really wants to push the envelope, he can probably put a nose of that 7 machine down there and make Radford run a way different line than what he's really looking for. And it looks like we got trouble. Trouble on the front stretch. John Gutekunst in the 41 Eurotech machine. He's going to go around, and with smoke boiling out from under the hood, he's going to have to come to pit road early here tonight and burn one of those fast repairs and a quick fix. Can he get the 41 fired back up and back around the track? We'll have to wait to see. There he goes. He's going to get it rolling. And he'll keep himself on the lead lap, possibly. Let's go back and see what happened. 41 kind of running that middle lane, and there it is. Slight contact with the rear of the car from that 42 of Thad Failer. So Failer going to get into Gutekunst just slightly coming off of the corner exit. And 41's going to pay the price. Let's take one more look at it here. Failer looking to the inside, comes up the racetrack just a little bit of a wiggle out of the tail end of that 41 as well. And pinball here tonight at Dover. Miles may already have his first victim. Yeah, we'll talk about victims for a moment here. What do you say we talk about victims? Everybody gonna call their Goodyears victims here tonight. They're already on the pit road to get 4 fresh Goodyears and more fuel to carry them to the end. Still a long way to go, right at about or just around 80 laps when we get back Green Flag Racing. So as everybody comes down pit road, we'll take a look down pit lane. And we'll see how everybody gets off of pit road. Already rolling off in the back. You can see James Hood missing his pit stall. He's going to have to come around another truck or two. Easily winning the race off of pit road with a fuel-only stop was Smalling. Cody Giles going to roll off second. Third is Tyler Rex. A good jump already for Rex here tonight. Up 4 positions from where he qualified, and now with a good spot on the restart. So the field going to work their way off of pit road and catch back up to the tail end of the pace car. We'll rejoin the field right here with that Pro Cup Racing Experience. Number 21 showing the way. Thomas Smalling has led every lap here tonight. Cody Giles going to gain some spots as well. Was running inside the top 5, but now going to restart outside row number 1. So a good jump with the strategy there for your top 3. Smalling going to hold serve, but Tyler Rex going to pick up, it looks to be about 4 positions here. With that pit road exchange fuel only stop for the 84, and he's going to roll off inside row number 2 in that 3rd position. Field double file as the pace car lights have went off. We're ready to go back Green Flag Racing once again here from Dover International Speedway. Driver's going to come right by your screen, and we're going to get ready to fire things off here tonight. Once again, first caution flag of the evening, and we're ready to get back Green Flag Racing here at Dover. iRacing pace car will take that left-hand turn, and we will unleash the beast once again here from Dover. You know, I'm surprised that there's never been any cracks in the concrete here, surprisingly. That's a whole nother story. Back on the gas, Green Flag waves once again. Here is the boss man at the flag stand, gets things going on the gas up through the gears. Clean and clear as Thomas Smalling. Half a second advantage already. They're going to stack up behind him, but Cody Giles going to taking that second position. The 46 of Medford with a good run, and he's going to make up and around on the high side. Power move here for the 46 and the 48. They're going to move right on by Tyler Rex, and now the 83 also looking to grab a position. He's got his teammate right behind him, Dustin Franklin, in tow as well. Side by side, 3 rows deep down the backstretch here at Dover. Lap number 22 on the board. And all of these positions up to 4 grabs, and falling deep in the field now. Tyler Rex may be regretting that fuel-only stop. He's going to drop all the way back now to the 9th position. Was running 7th prior to our first and only caution. And he's going to lose yet another position as these fresh tires are really looking, they're looking quick, they're looking sporty, and I think Rex may be rethinking that no tire call. Meanwhile, at the front, we told you the fresh tires are key, and here it is, leading the race off of turn number 2, snatching the point away from Thomas Smalling. Chris Medford now going to open up almost a 1 second advantage with those fresh tires. Brandon Pamitat going to make his way up and around Thomas Smalling, as well as now the 21 struggles to keep pace with the fresh tires that are surrounding him on the track right now. A holding serve in the third position for a moment, but he's going to fast hard charging Brandon Medford and Troy Radford are right behind him. Dustin Franklin not too far off of there. And last time around, Chris Medford, your race leader, going to turn in the fastest lap of the race of 23:27. That is almost 2/10 faster than the next driver in line on the speed charts. That is an absolute blazing fast lap, as now we're seeing Thomas Smalling fall through the field here, dropping like a rock. Smalling gonna go from first to sixth, and Dalton Hayes may have something to say about that. The Fort Worth screen printing number 74 looks to get up and around Smalling and push him a little further back in the running order. And it's going to be moving, it's going to be changing, it's going to be fluid here tonight with the 4 drivers that are in and the 4 drivers that are out. Moments ago, leading in control and command of the race, really, if you want to get right down to it, now on the outside of your top 5 and on the outside looking in, running in the 7th position. There you can see the Pro Cup Racing Experience number 21 give up yet another spot. Tyler Woodard going to take his Woodard Automotive machine into the 7th position and look for 6th on Dalton Hayes. But Smalling now dropping back to 8th due to the tire strategy, and he's outside of your top championship for now. Medford, Pamitat, Brandon Medford, and Dustin Franklin are moving on. If the race were to come to the end right now, that would be your championship for. Still a long way to go here tonight, right at about 70 laps when we cross the start and finish line this time around. So it's still a long way to go, still a lot of things to sort out, and a lot of laps to be laid down. We'll head back up to the front right here with Brandon Pamitat, Brandon Medford, and Troy Radford. You know, how key is having that teammate tucked in line behind you. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have to worry about fighting any drivers off coming from behind. They're going to have to get through your teammate first. And when you see him moving around, making moves, that lets you know you may have to start searching for a different line as well. But for the moment, the drivers stay in each other tire tracks. Back across the line, lap number 32 now goes on board. Brandon Pamitat under fire for second from Brandon Medford. As we work our way off of turn number 2, back down the backstretch once again. What do you say we go back here? Battle back here at the tail end of the field, all the way outside of your top 10 now. Those those fresh tires, these drivers that decided to go fuel only, I think they're kicking themselves in the head right about now. Thomas Smalling, Cody Giles, and Tyler Rex all going to fall to the tail end of the field, all the way back now in 11th, 12th, and 13th. James Oot going to bring his 65 Oot renovations Silverado down to pit road with the early contact and early trouble. John Gutekunst listed as a 1 lap down, only driver a 1 lap down in the lucky dog position, and we're going to scratch that because James Oot now going to fall a lap down, if not 2 or 3, before he rejoins the track. So a tough break here early for Oot. And I tell you what, let's jump back up here. With that battle for second place still underway. Little bit of contact and a wiggle from Pamitat down into turn 3. Trouble in contact at the front, but trouble in the tail end of the pack. The 77 of Tyler Woodard going to have some trouble, and I tell you what, I do believe we're going to get, do we have that one? Yeah, yes, no, yeah, okay, oh, okay, all right, yeah. Looks like we're getting a thumbs up over there on the replay, so they were able to catch camera angle of it from the turn 3 drone cam. So what do you say we take a look back at the iRacing League calculator replay. The 77 of Tyler Woodard going to make his way off of turn 2. There's the contact. Outside wall. Nowhere to go. And he's going to slide to a stop after some heavy, hard impact. Kind of a pinball. Once again, we're seeing a common theme with these cautions, these accidents, and things can get out of hand pretty quick here at Dover the Concrete Jungle the Monster Mile. And, well, they don't have a mascot out front called Miles the Monster for nothing. Dover known for catching a few drivers out is how we'll word it. Ending some hopes, ending some dreams along the way. And here tonight, a handful of drivers already with some trouble. John Gutekunst, you seen him moments ago, getting the lucky dog, making his way back around the... I hear you, Spencer. I'm 32 laps back. I hear you, bro. James Zoot, Tyler Woodard, and John Gutekunst all with trouble here early. And you know, that's going to be a saving grace. I mean, we talked about moments ago, Smalling, Giles, and Rex, what a predicament they were in with those old tires. The rest of the field came down pit road on lap number 18 and got 18 lap fresher tires. And here we are, lap number 37. And Smalling, Giles, and Rex all to pit lane, all getting their first set of fresh tires. So now the advantage is in their ball court. Those three going to have the upper hand now. But with the numbers being so different, it's only three of them with the fresh tires here. They're going to have to make their way from outside of the top 5. Looks like Thomas Smalling's going to line up in that 9th position here for the restart. So they're going to have quite a bit of traffic in front of them. And it's going to be hard pressed to just make those runs to the front, even with those fresh Goodyears. Trying to take a moment and see where all of these championship drivers are running, and for the moment, the 4 that look to be in: Chris Medford, Brandon Pamitat, Brandon Medford, and Dustin Franklin. Those will be the 4 that are locked into the championship at this point in time. And as we said already, it's going to be a fluid moving thing here. It's going to be much like you've seen at the Rover for the NASCAR boys this Sunday. Each position, each restart, it's going to change how things are looking at who's going to have the shot at Homestead. Who's your favorite driver? Who you got moving on? I know who my 4 are, and I'll be honest, at the end of tonight's race, I'll let you know if my 4 are going to have a shot at the championship. I got a dark horse or 2 in there, so we'll see if you get them all right. Nonetheless, we're going to kick things off once again here tonight from Dover International Speedway in the iRacing League Calculator 100. Right here with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Pace car lights are off. We're set to roll. Once again here from Dover International Speedway, Chris Medford will lead the field with Brandon Pamitat just to his outside for our second restart of the night. And here we go. Pace car down and away. Wait for it. They'll roll through turn number 4 and into the Geico restart zone. On the gas and green flag flies once again here from Dover. Side by side down into turn number 1. They'll sort it out. Go side by side for second and third. Through turns 1 and 2. The 46 of Brendan Medford going to lead the field. Back down the backstretch we roll. Almost into the outside wall was Brandon Pamitat. A little bit of a close call as the field goes screaming by. Back down into turn 3. We'll come back out and back across the start-finish line. Lap goes in the bag. Great action here at the front of the field. Chris Medford showing the way. Brandon Medford right there now running in second. And into the outside wall was Brandon Pamitat, the U.S. Air Force number 48. Going to make some contact with the outside wall coming out of turn number 4. And that's going to produce a little bit of drag. And not the drag you're wanting. Not the drag you're hoping to have at all. You want to drag race your way away from the field. But now he's going to be mired with a lot of Hungary drivers behind him. Troy Radford gonna, gonna move that Lucky Finn Project number 94 into the 3rd position, and Falcon Motorsports locks out your top 3. And proving me wrong once again, we said I didn't know how quickly these drivers were gonna be able to make their way up through the field, with the numbers being in favor of the drivers with the older tires. Thomas Smalling and Cody Giles making short work of this field already. Back into 4th and 5th, and they're going to look to the inside of Troy Radford, and not much Radford's going to be able to do to fight and fend off these two. Moving to the front with those fresh tires. Linder out there in the channel, the YouTube side of things. Thanks for joining us here tonight, and there you go. You mentioned go Cody. Oh, he's going somewhere, all right. He's going to the front. He's following that 21 of Thomas Smalling right to a podium and right into, it looks like, 3rd place for now. How soon will they take the race lead? Just 4 laps after the restart, and they have worked their way from the back to battling for the top spots on the racetrack. Great run here for Smalling and Giles to work their way up through the field. And man, look at him scoot away from this field. Half a second advantage for your top 2 now. Those 18-lap fresher tires are ridiculously fast. I mean, looking at the timing and scoring last time around, the race leader ran a 23.75. John Garrett, also with fresh tires, is going to run a 23.93. All 3 of your drivers that came to pit road are the fastest on the racetrack. Looks like Brandon Medford back there with a 24.21 last time around. So well over half a second difference on the stopwatch from the drivers that came to pit road and the drivers that stayed out under our second caution of the evening. Tell you what, let's go back here. Let's check out this battle. 5th, 6th, 7th on the racetrack. Chris Medford, Tyler Rex, Brandon Medford right here in the Zoe's place number 83. Chevy Silverado, the Falcon Motorsports driver, looking to secure his spot in the championship 4. Will he be able to get the job done? We've got about 50 laps remaining to find out. We're going to see the cross flags this time around as lap 50 goes on the board here from Dover International Speedway. The iRacing League Calculator 100 for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. It's about that time, so what do you say? We go ahead and give you your mid-race report, your driver highlights and spotlights, your halfway rundown here tonight from Dover International Speedway. We'll get to the house cleaning portion first. 15 drivers took to the track here tonight. We have still got 13 out there on the track. James Hoot and Tyler Woodard will work their way back behind pit wall and back to the haulers. Both of those drivers down and out here tonight. Miles collecting a handful of victims already. 13 drivers on the lead lap. What a run by all of these drivers here tonight and all season long, really. If you haven't already, you know what we're going to ask. But first, we'll get to the driver highlights and spotlights. Man at the front of the field, showing the way with the race lead, looking for his 3rd win of the season. The New York native trying to capture the flag here tonight at Dover. Thomas Smalling showing the way, and he only needs a handful of laps here to begin to close in on the most laps led as well. So a good run here tonight when he needs it the most. Thomas Smalling looking to move on. He sits in first. Man right behind him, big run up through the field, following the fresh tires in front of him. Also a great run here tonight, needing a great run to move on with a chance for the championship. Sitting in that Martin Sports Eurotech number 7, Cody Giles sitting in second, sitting in your final 4. Back in third place, back towards the front of the field once again, the Texas native looking to capture yet another podium here tonight. For his Fort Worth screen printing esports team, John Garrett with a good run, looking to get back to victory lane for the second time this season. We saw him win at Daytona a handful of weeks ago, so a great run into the playoffs and through the first few rounds, but falling just a little short, falling out of the championship run at Atlanta. Had some tough go, and Garrett, for the moment, sits in third. We said for a moment Garrett gonna move back to fourth now as we watch the Ohio native, the Buckeye, the Milkman, the original, that's right, Rex the original, Tyler Rex, in that 84 machine. He needs a good run to move on here tonight as well. Still battling for his championship hopes and sitting in third, Rex in a position to move on to Homestead with a shot at the championship. Came into tonight's race 5 points ahead of his fellow 7 championship drivers that still had a shot at moving on to Homestead. Chris Metford right here, the Falcon Motorsports Race for Riley's Zoe's Place 46 machine. Great season all season long, very consistent runs week in, week out. Visited victory lane one time earlier this season. He's been searching for a way to get back there again. But for now, he sits as the last driver in the top 5. And he sits as the last driver moving on to Homestead with a shot. What does the man right behind him, Brandon Metford, do? Metford also still alive. His championship hopes on the line. What do you do with a teammate in front of you? Brandon Metford running in the 6th position. How about the turnaround of events here tonight for the man inside of that 41 machine? And speaking of inside the 41, what do you say we go on board? Take a little look around the track as we've got those Falcon Motorsports teammates side by side. Gudikun's going to look to the bottom of the racetrack. Ice fishing right around the corner for the Michigan native. We'll have to see if he can catch anything this year, and if he can catch up to the guys in front of him looking to get around Brandon Metford to take a spot inside the top 5. How hard will he push? How hard will he go with a championship contender on his nose? Oh, the door's going to get open, and Gudikun's going to look to fill the opening. Taking the gap on the inside lane. Big move down into turn number 1. Great pass there by Gudikunst. Absolutely textbook pass right there. Showed the nose of the truck to Brandon Metford, and Metford pretty much at that point had kind of no other option but to put the lift a little bit and give up the spot. Things changing as green flag pit stops are underway. Brandon Metford, Pamitat, Mark Parkhurst, Dustin Franklin, Dalton Hayes, and Chris Metford all down the pit road as we speak. All of them looking for their pit boxes. And I mean, this is going to be the next thing. These drivers are going to go multiple laps down. Here as your top 5, they were last to pit road back on lap 36, lap 37, so they got themselves at least 18 more laps of fuel in the tank right now, and it is going to trap a ton of drivers off of the lead lap if you've got the cold tires on coming off of pit road. If you're one of the, it looks to be about 6 or 7 drivers that did come down to pit road for the first round of green flag pit stops here tonight at Dover, you're gonna have to tiptoe and make sure you don't bring out a caution. There you can see it right there, left-hand side of your screen. Multiple laps down, 2 laps down. A lucky dog is gonna do you no good. A caution flag will do you no good. Even with the wave around, you're still going to be trapped 1 lap down. So this is where the race gets really interesting for these drivers on these much fresher tires, as they're going to slowly catch up to the guys still out there on the track. Thomas Smalling showing the way. He has a 2-second advantage. 21 machine has been lights out, lightning fast all night long, and last time around still a 10th faster than Cody Giles, sitting in that 2nd position. Tyler Rank still back in 3rd. John Garrett sits in 4th, and John Gudekunst's going to round out your top 5, your top 3 drivers. They are championship drivers, and they are locked in at the moment. Going to have to go all the way back to 6th position to find your next championship driver. Finishing out those top 4 is Chris Medford, running in that 6th position, 2 laps down for the time being, as we've got a little bit of a stretch before we see your top 5 head to pit road. And logging the laps quickly here tonight. Already 20 laps over the halfway point. We're knocking on the door of less than 30 remaining here tonight. The iRacing League Calculator 100. So while you're here, while you're watching some great racing action, you know you want to, you know you need to. Why don't you go ahead and show these drivers some love and appreciation and drop them thumbs up. Let them know you enjoy the great truck racing action that they provide to you week in, week out, every Wednesday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Look for the Colonial Clash Racing Series, and as we've already mentioned, and coming to pit road this time around is race leader Thomas Smalling. Cody Giles gonna follow suit and head down pit road. Tyler Ranks already on pit road. John Garrett gonna stay out on the racetrack and take command of the race. He's gonna put a lap lead in his back pocket. But as we were saying before the pass for the race lead, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Join us in that push to 3,000. Drop these drivers that thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash the bell over there at the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live. And missing the entry to pit road. John Garrett's going to miss the entry to pit road. Gudekunst's going to follow down pit lane, and he will make it onto pit road. A little bit of a mishap and misjudgment there from John Garrett. How much time will it cost him on the back end of this thing? Back out on track, though. Thomas Smalling coming off of pit lane, trying to get up to speed. And it looks like Smalling and Giles both going to beat both the Medford boys off of pit road. There you can see Falcon Motorsports flying to the front. Looking for the race lead. Once again, Brandon Medford. That's right behind Chris Medford, Troy Radford in tow. But a job well done by your top 2. Thomas Smalling, Cody Giles with a great run to pit lane and back up to speed. And they'll keep themselves out front as John Garrett stretching this thing now. Miss pit road entry. He's going to stretch it a handful of laps further and keep everybody trapped. At least 1 lap down for the time being with 25 to go this time around. It is the witching hour right here once again with us on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Championship hopes and dreams on the line. Somebody's going to go home with a smile. Somebody may need a shoulder or a pillow to cry on by the time we get through these final 25 laps. And I hear you. Pit road speed here, it's terrible. It's like driving down Main Street in your local town or your hometown. 35 miles an hour. Good point out there by Spencer Teal out there in the chat. Spencer, one of the regulars here with the Colonial Clash Racing Series. Hope to see you back out on track real soon, as a matter of fact, in that 20 truck. But I mean, just an absolute crawl when you can consider drivers turning in laps. Right now, you know, they're going through the center of these corners at 120 plus miles an hour. So I mean, over 100-mile-an-hour difference in just 1 mile. It adds up, and it's going to be big. Thomas Pauling and Cody Giles able to unlap themselves. That's going to be big as well. I'm trying to think of the strategy here. Was missing pit road that big, that key, that it's put Garrett in a position to where he's just hoping for a late race caution to save his night. When he comes to pit road, he's going to fall probably a lap down, and there it is. He's going to have to call it quits and bring that 66 machine down to pit lane. And oh man, that's going to put a big twist on the end of the race for him. Much fresher tires when he comes out, but with only about 20 laps remaining, he's going to be hard pressed. It's going to be hard pressed for him to make up all the time lost here by extending that green flag run. And there you're going to see already Smalling and Giles gonna leapfrog him, and gonna leapfrog him on the scoring pylon. We'll get it right. I promise we can talk as long as our tongue will cooperate. But you know, it's hard. It's hard. With 20 laps to go here tonight, the iRacing League Calculator 100, we're going to revisit those championship drivers. Front of this field as they run. Your top 4 are locked in and ready to move on to Homestead Miami Speedway to shoot it out for a championship crown. Thomas Smalling, Cody Giles, Chris Medford, and Brandon Medford. All championship contenders, all at the front of the field, 1st through 4th. Troy Radford, your first non-championship driver, sitting in that 5th position. Let's go back here and take a look at that 94 of Radford. Just kind of holding serve right here. Just hanging out with his Falcon Motorsports teammates. A big gap back to Brandon Pamitat, the U.S. Air Force number 48. Under fire from Thad Failer. Failer, not one of your championship contenders any longer, was knocked out after round number 1. But still running strong here in that 42 iRacing League Calculator machine. Looking to break his way a little closer to a top 5 position. Brandon Pamitat slowly seeing his championship fade away. It looks like extending the fuel run did not pan out and pay off for this 84 of Tyler Rex. There you can see John Garrett making his way up and around Tyler as he's had some contact with the outside wall. Significant damage down the right side. You can see it all scraped up. He's going to need a caution to turn his race around as he falls back into the 13th position and out of your championship contention. Mark Parkhurst also on the outside looking in at the moment. Dustin Franklin also on the outside looking in. We'll jump up here a little bit closer to the top 5. Franklin sitting in the 8th position with 14 laps to go. He's got a long uphill battle on his hands to try to make it into those top 4. And sitting pretty right where he wants to be at the front of this field. Losing a little bit of time there to Brandon, though, is Chris. So falling off pace with that 46 machine. He's still got his teammate behind him, but reeling him in. Brandon Pamitat slowly creeping to the tail end of this tandem, working their way back down into turns 1 and 2. Falcon Motorsports teammates 3rd, 4th, 5th on the racetrack as we continue to click them off to the end of tonight's race. And it looks like we've got a fan favorite out there in the chat. Everybody rooting this 7 machine on. Come on, Cody, get it done. And I think if you race it smart, he's going to move on. I mean, 11 laps to go as we cross the line. That time around, you can see him move up the racetrack and let the lap car, the 66 of John Garrett, around without trying to put up any type of fight, not willing to put himself in a position to jeopardize his championship hopes and dreams. Giles 2 seconds back, but in a solid second, moving on with a shot at Homestead, and that's what it's all about. To have a shot at the championship, you first got to be in the top 4, and Giles looking to secure that spot halfway down the backstretch. We'll head up with your race leader as he works his way through some lap traffic, some heavier lap traffic just off in front. You can see now Dalton Hayes falling off of the lead lap. The 74 Fort Worth screen printing machine going to lose a lap, and here comes John Garrett. Garrett going to pick up a position and try to run down that 21 and get himself back onto the lead lap. And with less than 10 to go, he's got much more pace. But I don't see a way that this 66 is going to be able to get all the way around the track and have a shot at the race win with only 7 laps remaining when we cross the line this time by. Maybe just a little bit too late on the strategy, but still, you gotta do something. You gotta throw the sink at it. A little bit of mishap and a mistake costing Garrett a good finish here tonight. Looking at still walking away with the top 10, so nothing too shabby, but still had a shot to possibly walk away with the checkered flag. As we go back to some of the battles here, once again, there you can see Thad Failer in the 42 iRacing League calculator machine trying to run back down Brendan Pamitat, who has been slowly but surely gaining some time on Radford and both of the Medford boys. The Falcon Motorsports trio of trucks slowly being reeled in, but I just don't think there's going to be enough time. Not a lot of battles to speak of. I'll tell you what, let's go right here as John Garrett looking for a position on John Gutekunst, the 41 machine. Up on the high side, the Gearatank 1776 Motorsports driver going to run that middle lane, and down on the bottom, digging, catfishing here. Was that 66? I mean, a little bit of a technical issue there. Not quite sure what was going on with that one, but nonetheless, pass being made by John Garrett. Move Garrett back to 8th. 4 laps remaining with your race leader right behind. We're going to see 3 to go this time around. Smalling with a 3-second advantage. It's all but smooth sailing from here. Smalling will work his way to Homestead with a shot at the championship, looking to secure race win number 3 here this season. Great run. Great year so far for the Pro Cup Racing Experience driver. Thomas Smalling going to see popsicle sticks on display this time around. Just 2 miles remain here from Dover. And we don't want to call it prematurely, but it looks like we have got your final 4 moving on to Homestead. Thomas Smalling going to come across the stripe. We'll see the white flag fly this time around. There it is. Final lap here tonight. The iRacing League Calculator 100. Thomas Smalling will look to secure his 3rd win in his shot for a championship. Cody Giles clean and clear behind him. The 7 machine looks to his championship hopes. Brendan Medford, Chris Medford round out your top 4. And your championship drivers off a turn 4 final time. Thomas Smalling gonna do a little tail whip, drift drag down the front stretch for all the fans in the stands. Another sold out packed house here for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. What a show, what a race, what a night. When we thought the tire management was going to be key, we had that long green flag run to the end. Almost 70 laps of pure green flag racing action, and Thomas Smalling will enjoy this one, and he will park it in victory lane. The 21 gonna bring it back down the backstretch and back around to the fans in the stands on the front stretch. Give them all a photo opportunity and a chance for a smoke show. And here we go, off of turn number 4. We're gonna wait right here. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got for the tires. And he's still got a pretty good amount of tire life left. Smoke boiling off as he enjoys this post-race celebration, and he moves on. Once again, taking the top spot here tonight is Thomas Smalling. We're going to take ourselves a quick commercial break, get things ready to go for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back live trackside at the conclusion of tonight's iRacing League Calculator 100 from Dover International Speedway. On screen, the man that finished in third. So what do you say we go ahead and dive right into it? Let's pull up and have a few words with the Falcon Motorsports 83 machine. Brandon, heck of a job, heck of a run. You're going to move on to Homestead. How you feeling walking away with a podium here tonight from Dover?
And to be in the top four to get myself a chance for the championship next week, and that's what we accomplished.
Well, I want to talk about the Falcon Motorsports team. You were all lined up third, fourth, fifth on the racetrack with Troy outside of the playoffs, running right there with you guys. Was there any kind of strategy maybe to, I don't want to say have a Cole Custer thing go on. We won't go there, but maybe have a little bit of a buffer, a little safety net, if you will, behind both you and Chris that both raced your way into the championship?
Yeah, we wanted to stay together and keep the trucks clean and be able to work strategy with the three of us. So I'm sure it wasn't obvious enough that Troy was there riding with us. Extra truck out there for them guys to have to pass makes it harder on them. But again, we stayed clean and didn't do anything silly like the Cole Custer deal. But we were definitely out there as a team, and we accomplished what we came to do today.
Well, I believe you guys almost accomplished everything you guys set out to accomplish so far this season. Yet another solid run for you and the 83 crew. So before we let you go here tonight from Dover and look forward to Homestead, would you like to give any final shout-outs? Thank yous, love yous. Thank anybody back home?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to thank you, Dave, for the broadcast. Thank everybody at the Colonial Clash series, all the sponsors, all the drivers. We've got one more week left to go. It's been an incredible season to this point. So I'm really excited to be able to go out there and race for a championship next week. I got to thank Chris and Troy. You know, without them too, maybe we're not here tonight. Chris let me go by him there with about 15 to go or so. He's got a 5-point buffer tonight. So in case something silly happened, one of us was going to be okay. And so I got to thank him. And then thank all my other Falcon Motorsports that aren't here tonight. Those guys, they got our side all the time. And then Zoe's Place, Ellie's Place, Spartan Logistics, 5-Star Graphics. Got to thank my family. Take a lot of time out of the week to race and hone my craft. And, so sometimes I'm not spending time with them when I should be. So I got to thank them for that. Love them very much. So, but other than that, just excited to get to next week and go bring home a trophy and not come up in the runner-up finish this year like I did last year.
Well, Brandon, we hope it goes your way. We'll have to see how the chips fall at Homestead, but congratulations on yet another great season, backing up last year's championship run with another one this season. Good run here tonight. We'll see if it rolls to Homestead. Until then, my friend, stay safe, keep it fast, and we'll see if we can catch up at Homestead.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from Dover here tonight with the man that walked away in third. That's going to be Brandon Medford in that 83 machine. Just falls a little short here tonight on the concrete surface, but he's still going to have a shot to raise the big boy hardware at the end, and that's going to move us up to this man right here. Maybe the sport's most popular driver right now. He's got all sorts of fans lined up on the fence with a great run here tonight. He's going to secure his spot to race for the championship. Cody, it's Dave. You got us.
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man, I think you took Dale Jr.'s spot and Chase Elliott's. You are the most popular driver, by far the most fans in the chat here tonight. So a big thumbs up for that one. But let's talk about your race a little bit here tonight. Were you worried at any point in time with the tire strategy, how you and a handful of drivers kind of got off cycle with the tires? Were you concerned at any time?
Oh God, yeah. I was definitely concerned. I was sweating there. I just I don't know the strategy. I thought, okay, so if tires meant that much, I could, just stretch it out a little bit more than everybody else. And I think it became more of a tire situation when we pit. So when we pit, I thought we would lose so much ground, so much interval there. So that was my biggest worry was, they had pit, 10 laps before we did. And so it kind of, in my mind, I was like, oh man, we got this big gap because we didn't take tires the first pit stop. So the second pit stop, we took tires and then got out to a gap And then that third pit stop, we kind of stretched it out there, and we try to get it out to as far as we could to kind of be good to the end. And the only thing that worried me was, is this interval? Do we have the interval to do it? And so it was kind of like a paint man in Hail Mary down the field, 4 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. So I it was a very ballsy strategy, but it turned out to be a good. It worked out for us.
Well, sometimes it takes oh, I'm gonna word it this way. Sometimes it takes the heavier lug nuts to make sure your tires are right, and we'll just leave it at that one. If you understand it, you get it. If not, well, we'll help you out another time. But Cody, we're gonna shift gears real quick on you. Next week, 90 laps left in season number 3. Do you think you can put that 7 at the top and raise the season championship hardware?
For sure. It's just, a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainties. Especially going into any championship for race, you have uncertainties, and I think we've been the most consistent this year, just trying to figure out what we can do to get to this point, and it's worked. And so I've scratched and clawed my way through to try to get to here, and by God, I did it. So uh next week at Homestead, actually I've never ran Homestead, so it's a lot of practice there for next week, of course, over the week and stuff like that. So um just a couple of uncertainties. I know Smalling and you know Medford and all them. They're quick. They're lightning fast competitors, and so it's not going to be no just lay back, and it's going to be balls to the wall, and it's probably going to get wild next week. So it's just bring my A game, and if we're there, we're there. If we're not, we're not. We'll get it next year. But that's going into it, I feel confident.
Well, Cody, if you have another run like you did here tonight, I think you're going to be right there in the mix to walk away with the checkered flag in the season hardware. But not to sell you short on what you accomplished here tonight, walked away with second. Great finish for you here at Dover. But more importantly, you get to move on to Homestead with a shot for that championship. So congratulations on everything you got done here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yes, sir. Fort Worth Screen Printing, Gear Tech, Goose Graphics, IRLC, Hoot Renovations, Pro Cut Racing, Woodard Automotive, 1776 Motorsports. Like I've always said in interviews, man, I just, I can't give bigger thanks to John and them for allowing me to be on their team and being a part of this journey. Even in my first season here, going to the championship for it's pretty wild. So big thanks to him, and everybody here that puts it all together, and appreciate you streaming all this, man. So I appreciate all you guys doing this.
Absolutely. I know I appreciate the kind words. I know everybody else with the series and the team appreciate the kind words. Man, one more race to go. We'll have to see how you go at Homestead, but until then, stay safe, keep it fast, and I don't know. We'll see how we'll see if we can't get this thing in victory lane.
Yes, sir. See you guys next week.
All right, there you have it. Happy, satisfied, but not necessarily feeling overly confident. He's got to turn in quite a bit of practice laps by his own words, but Cody Giles going to secure his spot for a championship run. He will finish second tonight and move on to Homestead with a shot at the Season 3 championship. And that's going to move us right along in the list. This man out front, absolutely great pace in that Pro Cup Racing Experience number 21 machine. Let's see if we can't grab your race winner for the third time here this season with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series inside of the 21, Thomas How you doing after capturing the flag for a third time this year?
I'm doing pretty good after that win. It's nice to peak in the playoffs and do well and get a good run going. But yeah, just at first, the first few laps, trying to get as much clean air as possible, and then uh, somehow choosing that right strategy. How about that?
Yeah, you got a little bit off with the tire strategy, but it seemed to come back to you and worked back into your favor. And then the long green flag run really seemed to suit you guys. How worried were you there that you may come back out on track behind a truck or two?
Yeah, after the pit stops, I was pretty worried that I'd get trapped behind a truck and be in dirty air, and then the whole strategy would be ruined. But thankfully, lap cars were nice, and they let me have my line on the bottom, and then uh, just kept running in that clean air and kept saving tires throughout the run.
Well, we noticed you got the flight suit and jet fighter helmet on, and you were flying out there on the track here tonight. I don't think it's any coincidence, and moving your way on with a chance to fight it out at Homestead in the championship 4. So shifting gears and looking forward at next week's race, the season finale, just 90 laps at Homestead. Do you think you got what it takes to one, walk away with the checkered flag, but more importantly, and probably overall this season, hoist that hardware at the end?
Yeah, I think I got a shot at it, but you won't know until you get in the race, and there's so many factors that go into it. Everyone else that's not in the playoffs is still fighting for a win, so um, I'll just hang it all out in the line and hope we can come away with the trophy.
Well, Thomas, it's been a pleasure watching you all year long, from your dominating performance at the road course to these last 2 wins, working your way into a shot for the season championship. Man, it's been a great journey this season, capping it off with a race win here tonight, making it that much sweeter with the momentum moving forward. So before we let you go and celebrate the race win and relish in the fact that you get to fight for a championship next week, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me get the thing open.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's got a list. First driver prepared. Just saying.
All right. I'd like to thank the Pro Cup iRacing Experience, JST Racing, Worded Automotive, Circle B Diecast, and one last thank you to Cody for a great run once again. And the way we cut through traffic after that restart was just like clockwork. It was perfect. So, yeah.
All right, well, Thomas, we had to poke a little bit of fun at you here tonight. Nobody really able to do much with you. Cody hung with you for a minute, but you were able to stretch your legs lightning fast here, as always, at the front of the field, my man. Great job tonight, and we'll look forward to trying to catch up with you at Homestead. But as always, stay safe, stay fast, and we'll see how you go next week.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Thomas Smalling ready for Homestead, ready to try to walk away with one more win and lift the championship trophy when it's all said and done. That's going to do it for us here tonight, and that's going to do it for the iRacing League Calculator 100, walking away with the checkered flag in hand. Your race winner, the 21 of Thomas Smalling. And man, what a night, what a race we had here at Dover. The concrete surface really providing some great racing. And there you can hear producers already hitting those buttons in the background. You know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results. Walking away with the top spot and moving on to Homestead with a shot at the season championship, the 21 of Thomas Smalling. Cody Giles going to park that 7 machine in second, and he will fight for a championship as well. Brandon Medford will round out your podium drivers. Falcon Motorsports teammates will move on in the championship as Chris Medford finishes out tonight in 4th. 94 Licky Finn Project machine of Troy Radford gonna slide home in 5th, coming home in 6th tonight. Late race pit stop and he almost got back to the top 5 to 66 of John Garrett, will finish in 6th. 7th place here tonight from Dover International Speedway, the 48 U.S. Air Force machine of Brandon Pamitat falls just short on his championship hopes and dreams. John Kudekunst gonna park the 41 in the 8th position. 9th goes to Thad Failer in the iRacing League calculator number 42. Dustin Franklin's championship run comes to an end here tonight. He'll finish out your top 10. 74 of Dalton Hayes going to slide home in 11th with Tyler Rex finishing tonight's race back in 12th. His championship run has come to an end, as well as Mark Parkhurst in that 23 machine. He'll finish in 13th, and he'll watch the final 4 drivers go at it at Homestead. Tyler Woodard gonna finish in the 14th position. In the Oot Renovation 65, walking away 15th, James Oot. That's gonna do it for us here tonight in the production booth. We're getting ready to cut off